episode of Now Showing. I'm your host Abhijit Bhatt. एक जमाना था जब जिंदगी जीने के लिए सिर्फ 3 चीजें चाहिए होती थी, रोटी, कपड़ा और मकान। मगर अब रोटी, कपड़ा और मकान के साथ we also need entertainment to fix our पूरे हफ्ते की थकान। शहर को साफ रखने के लिए जगह जगह थूकना नहीं चाहिए और एंटरटेनमेंट कभी रुकना नहीं चाहिए। Which is why हर हफ्ते आंधी हो या तूफान मैं आ जाता हूं बन के आपका मेहमान with this entertainment package. So without further delay, let's take a look at what's brewing on this week's edition of Now Showing. My Oxford Year offers a lovely glimpse of love and poetry, making it a charming choice for your weekend watch. Familiar drama, sun-soaked visuals and classic love triangles. But this time, the focus is on growing up. The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 is our second recommendation for your weekend home viewing. Vaani Kapoor, Surveen, Chawla and Vaibhav Raj Gupta solve some crime mystery riddles and talk about the portrayal of angry women on the big screen. And filmmaker Neeraj Pandey talks about Season 2 of Special Ops, influencers turning spies and remembers Sushant Singh Rajput. Metro mein hote hain stations. Let's start the show with this week's hottest releases and recommendations. The fastest thing on this planet is the weekend. Before you shut your laptop on Friday, it's Monday again. Now, we understand that time is of the essence and you shouldn't be wasting it on searching the internet for content. Which is why our entertainment and lifestyle editor Tavishi Paitandy is here to guide you to some dhamakedar entertainment. Over to you, Tavishi.
Hey Abhijit, thank you. And hello all of you. This week, let's take a break from our Bollywood bonanzas and travel west. Let's first talk about My Oxford Year. You know the type of film that I'm talking about? Cobbled streets, cozy pubs, foggy mornings, poetic drizzle and that dreamily disarming British accent that somehow makes heartbreak feel like a cup of Earl Grey. Yes, a UK set romance is cinematic catnip. And My Oxford Year, streaming now on Netflix at #1 currently, knows that. Based on Julia Whelan's novel, the film leans into the old world charm with deliberate Pinterest board precision. Sophia Carson plays Anna de la Vega, an ambitious New Yorker with a Goldman Sachs gig waiting back home. But before spreadsheets swallow her soul, she takes a detour to Oxford, hoping to rekindle her love for literature. Enter Jamie Davenport, played by Queen Charlotte heartthrob Corey Milchrist. He's the guy who splashes her with street water in a vintage Jaguar only to reappear as her poetry professor. British, broody, and devastatingly charming, of course. What follows? Pub dates, prose-heavy flirting, scenic picnics and stolen glances across centuries-old libraries. You know the drill. On paper, Oxford Year checks every possible box. Impossibly attractive leads, postcard-perfect backdrops, a relationship on borrowed time, and enough longing to fill a poetry anthology. Carson looks luminous. Milchrist channels that young Hugh Grant vibe that casting directors dream about. And the film is gorgeous. Seriously. It could double up as a tourism ad for the hallowed streets of Oxford and the English countryside. But, and here's the rub, underneath all that gloss is a romance that never quite catches fire. Carson, fresh off the life list, plays Anna with a kind of polished composure that never quite cracks even when she's supposedly falling in love or confronting heartbreak. You want to root for her, but she feels more like a stylish mannequin drifting through a very expensive mood board. Milchrist does better though. He's effortlessly charming, but the script co-written by Alison Burnett and Melissa Osborne doesn't give him much to sink his teeth into. The emotional stakes feel implied rather than earned. And when the film tries to pull the rug out from under us with a late-stage twist, it lands with more of a shrug than a sob. You are meant to be gutted. Instead, you are mildly puzzled, maybe even checking how much time is left. And that's the film's central conflict. It wants to be one day, or perhaps Notting Hill, or even love story, but it borrows their aesthetics without quite capturing the emotional depth. The supporting cast? A gallery of glossy archetypes. Everyone's witty, attractive, and emotionally available once the script decides it's time. In the end, My Oxford Year joins that ever-growing category of mid-tier romances. Watchable, pleasant, occasionally lovely, but rarely moving. It's the kind of film you can pause to do laundry or perhaps reheat leftovers and not really feel like you have missed much. It's better than some, but in a genre that has the power to devastate and uplift, to remind you why we risk everything for love, this one just doesn't quite get there. Let's be honest. When The Summer I Turned Pretty first dropped back in 2022, most of us rolled our eyes. Another sun-drenched teen love triangle with impossibly pretty people, tousled beach hair, and hearts full of feelings that felt just a little too intense for 17-year-olds, no? We thought we knew what we were in for. And yet, here we are. 3 seasons in, and not only are the teens still hooked, the rest of us, grown women, reluctant boyfriends, and even those I don't watch this kind of stuff types are all secretly emotionally invested. Why? Because Jenny Han's story stopped being about first crushes and started being about what comes after. Streaming on Amazon Prime Video, Season 3, based on the final book, We'll Always Have Summer, picks up with Belly, older, in college, and in a steady, sweet relationship with Jeremiah. On paper, it's perfect. He's charming, spontaneous, there when it counts. But something feels off, like they're playing house with old rules. Even after a confession about a brief fling during one of their breaks, the two get back together. But the cracks are starting to show. Lola Tung as Belly continues to be the emotional heartbeat of this show. There's something about the way she carries doubt, that quiet ache of asking yourself, is this the love I dreamed of, or just the one I've grown used to? That hits a little too close to home for anyone who's ever outgrown a fairy tale. Gavin Casalegno's Jeremiah has come into his own this season. Less golden boy wallpaper, more flesh and flaw. And then there's Conrad. Oh, Conrad. Christopher Briney, take a bow. Now in therapy, living across the country, still trying to stitch himself back together. He's distant, yes, but also softer, funnier, realer. No longer just the brooding boy of summer, but a man learning to live with heartbreak. And that's the ache of Season 3. Watching people who once knew each other's hearts now feel like near strangers. The iconic Cousins Beach house is still there, but it's quieter, emptier, haunted. Not by ghosts, but by memories, by the absence of Susanna, by the loss of carefree summers and that inevitability of change. That supporting cast continues to shine. Rain Spencer's Taylor and Sean Kaufman's Stephen stumble through their own messes with believable awkwardness. Jackie Chung as Laurel, Belly's mum, remains a calming, grounded presence, reminding us that growing pains don't end with adolescence. Now, if you are waiting for the big cliffhangers or TikTok-ready love declarations, Season 3 might feel a bit slower. But that's the point. This season trades in viral moments for emotional maturity. It gives us missed calls at midnight, apologies whispered too late, and the brutal beauty of loving someone who just isn't quite on the same page anymore. The Summer I Turned Pretty has grown up, and it's gently asking us to grow with it. And even just 4 episodes in, the questions keep hanging in the salty air. Has Conrad really moved on, or is he just trying not to look back? Is Jeremiah the safer choice, or simply the easier one? And Belly? Will she finally stop choosing between the 2 fisher boys and choose herself instead? Only time and maybe a few more sunsets will tell.
Thank you so much, Tavishi, for those recommendations. And moving on, Mandala Murders has been creating a lot of buzz since the day it dropped on Netflix. This 8-part series is receiving a very positive response for its gripping plot. Up next, we have the lead cast of the show, Vaani Kapoor, Surveen Chawla and Vaibhav Raj Gupta, talking about their camaraderie and the most bizarre reasons they've been rejected by filmmakers in this freewheeling chat with my colleague Titash Chaudhary. Vaani and Surveen also open up about body shaming, the portrayal of angry young women on screen as they indulge in a fun round of crime and mystery riddles.
We're going to start with some fun games.
Oh,
Okay?
super.
Yeah. I know perhaps a lot of people have, riddled your mind with a lot of riddles, murder mysteries and all of that.
yeah.
But you don't have to put too much brains into these
lovely.
ones. These thoda sa sun lo dhyan se, to shayad you'll be able to figure out. A woman shot her husband and held him underwater for 3 minutes. Later that night, they had a lovely dinner together. How is this possible?
She shot him and held him underwater. But he clearly survived it. Survived the gunshot.
It's not a gunshot, shot her with him with a camera. Like an underwater camera.
Shot him.
A couple went on their honeymoon trip, but the husband returned from the vacation and said that his wife met with an accident and died. The police arrested him saying that your travel agent caught and we figured that you murdered your wife. How did the agent know that it was a murder?
He murdered her. He
The
was
travel
hired
agent
to murder
murdered
the
her.
wife.
Nahi. Because
that's a possibility.
I mean, yes, that is a possibility.
Huh.
No, I'll give it to you. But I think a better answer would be that he only booked one-way tickets for his wife.
Wow, nice, yeah.
What if the wife cheated on him and left him
Exactly.
there? Could that also be a possibility?
Yeah.
Perhaps?
I was
What if
thinking
there
the
is no
wife
wife?
probably ran
Faked
away
it,
with
yeah.
the travel agent only.
Yeah.
Every day, a man used to cross the border on a bicycle with 2 bags of sand. So the border officers got a tip that he's a smuggler. So the customs officers checked him out and found that he only has sand. They couldn't find more evidence, so they allowed him to cross the border. But what was he really smuggling then?
He was smuggling the bicycle.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Slow clap.
Nice.
Bharat ki mitti ki.
Huh, why did you say
He
that?
said Bharat ki mitti and I thought he knows this because he was smiling at the question. Sorry. I should have. See, I've learned something new. Don't trust him. Don't trust Vaibhav.
No, I trust you.
Were you bullied by these women?
What?
Clearly see.
Just today. Today is the first day of ragging him.
We didn't even bully.
Yeah.
I don't associate
You think we
with
can bully
bullying.
him? Had we bullied him
I'm
through
not-
the show, every day of anger issues we can't handle.
You have
Very
anger
cool.
issues.
No.
But how easily or how difficult was it to break the ice with the two of them during the shoot?
Very easy, yeah. Kafi chill.
You and I broke it dheere dheere, na?
No, with Surveen, easily. With Vaani, I think. क्योंकि
Thanks.
नहीं.
I thought you'd be like, nahi, are you crazy?
ऐसा उतना tough नहीं था. But
इतना tough नहीं था. Tough था, but इतना tough
इतना
नहीं
tough
था.
नहीं था.
That's because I open up dheere dheere. Like I become
You're a shy person.
shy person. That's why.
Your director, Mr. Gopi Putran, he said that, this is the time for angry young women, to be on the screen. Such a...
He predicted the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. I mean, of course, he made Mardani,
Yeah,
before
yeah.
that. Fantastic.
Oh
What a
gosh.
fantastic portrayal.
Brilliant.
And what a fantastic role. But, do you see today in general, people embracing women's rage on screen?
I think it's feistiness. It's standing up for themselves,
Hmm.
which could be,
Misinterpreted.
it into anger. It's
Huh.
not like women are moving around with anger issues.
Yeah.
What? It's having having an opinion and expressing it. Having an opinion, expressing it, and speaking their mind, having the
Yeah.
confidence to speak their mind.
Right.
So I think sometimes you can be like, oh, she has opinions and she has, she's too, I don't know what people say because, but you know, like how it could be misconstrued into something
100%.
else, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But even outside, this particular show, like you're talking about, women with a voice, with a mind, right? That do you think in real life also such women tend to intimidate men in
Yes.
general?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then those men are expected, then those women are also to a very large extent expected to dim or dumb down their own light.
Yeah.
You
And
know-
sometimes you're
you
even
know what I
told
mean?
to do so, right?
In a very unspoken
Unspokenly,
way.
yeah. It's not so literally direct, but yeah.
But I don't think
it
all
almost
men are.
come-
Yeah. I don't think all men expect that, but yeah, there are
No.
still
There are
plenty.
some,
But
yeah.
you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
generalize them
it's
all.
the patriarchy that doesn't allow them to accept women having a voice,
Right.
if I may put it that way.
I also
Yeah.
feel sometimes now when there are times when you're getting a narration and most filmmakers write it and pen it from the lens of a man. You know, like, and
Yeah.
this guy and his love for her and
Exactly.
his intensity. What about the woman? As a woman, I feel there's so much more depth to her. Wisdom, be it anything, you know, not just wisdom, or she could be anybody, but there's so many different characters that you can explore, you know, for your female character in a film. But a lot of times I feel like it's a man's way of showing, look how I love, or look how I feel in this, or look, main barbaad ho gaya pyar mein. But you don't see the ashiki happening the other way around. You know, like where a girl is tabah in a man's love, or a girl has evolved or grown or had a journey. Those journeys I want to see it more often.
Yeah, we need more
women
makers like
yeah.
Gopi sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You had said, in an interview that, मुझे तो sacred games करना था, लेकिन I did. Good luck.
क्वेश्चन हाँ मुझे सेक्रेड गेम्स करना था जब सेक्रेड गेम्स आ रहा था आज मैं मंडा कर रहा हूँ
No, what I mean to say is that, this, of course, is very different from that. Pretty much similar zone in terms of, the texture. It's a dark zone, basically. Yeah, so you feel like, ki, chalo, everything happens at the right time.
Yeah. I do feel like that. Everything happens at the right time, and it's the best time for Mandala Models to come out. And we are all very excited.
To the three of you, tell me something, which is, what's the most bizarre reason you have been rejected for? Professionally, I mean.
You've done TV or overexposed. So I did television for about 3-4 years. And I was told, I walked in, and that whole year, like, I used to hear it a lot. There were people saying, oh, you're doing Punjabi films. I think you should stop doing Punjabi films if you want to focus on Hindi. And you're so naive at that point, and you actually even listen to them. So I let go of some opportunities in terms of some of my Punjabi films, saying, "Arey yaar, ye to problem ho jayega," and all that. And these were some casting directors I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm not gonna name them. Yeah, so this is bizarre, right? What do you mean by that?
Somebody once said that, oh no, she's not too fair. I want milky white. She's not fair enough. So I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. Now, if that's the basis, I don't think I want to be part of this project. So if the feelings are mutual, you please find your milky white beauty. I will find a better filmmaker for myself.
Yeah,
कभी-कभी सोशल मीडिया का वो होता है like Instagram के followers और ये सब otherwise ना
But कोई bizarre rejection का you haven't
होता है
faced?
तो मुझे पता ही नहीं चलता वो मैनेजर्स को पता चल
उधर
जाता
तक ही रहता है।
वो मेरे तक आता ही नहीं है तो मुझे भी लगता है ठीक है उस चीज से आप दूरी रहो बट हाँ सोशल मीडिया का कभी-कभी आता है कि अच्छा यू डोंट हैव उतना फॉलोअर्स नहीं है आपका तो शायद इसलिए वो हो रहा है
I'll take last 1 minute of your time. Just answer in yay or nay.
Okay.
Okay? Yay or nay, okay? Did a film for money. Just money.
Nah.
No.
Been starstruck with a co-star.
No.
Been body shamed in a professional setup.
Nah.
Sometimes I hear, are you too skinny? Or you put on weight? People like this full of bodies and stuff. And I'm like, but I like me.
I love myself
Totally.
तो ऐसा कुछ
That's what matters.
Yeah.
हाँ मतलब बोलने दो जिसको जो बोलना है
The use of AI in the re-release of Ranjana created quite a buzz recently. And interestingly, AI is also a central theme in the newly released Special Ops Season 2. Up next, we have director Neeraj Pandey talking about making this gripping Jio Hotstar series, his love for espionage thrillers and the kind of stories that resonate with Gen Z. In this conversation with my colleague Vishal Chatkara, Neeraj also fondly remembers making MS Dhoni The Untold Story with Sushant Singh Rajput. Listen in.
Neeraj sir, Special Ops has a dedicated fan base. How do you feel about this overwhelming positive response to Special Ops 2? People are binge watching it and demanding a season 3 so quickly.
It feels great. I mean, first of all, we are extremely grateful for the response that we've got from our audiences. You want your story to reach to as many people as possible, so it's humbling, and at the same time it's extremely gratifying.
You know, Special Ops 2 pivoted to the timely and relevant theme of AI.
Right.
What inspired this shift?
Again, you're talking about it now, and the writing started about 3 years back. So we didn't even know at that point of time when it's going to get released and how strongly it would resonate with the audience. But you take a punt. You take a punt on an idea, on a thought that okay, this is how the world is going. Season 1 was about the 19-year manhunt that we had done. 1.5 dealt with Himmat's backstory. So now it was time to deal with something which is very contemporary, which is set in today's world. And yeah, what better topic than what we have right now.
Now today wars are also fought online. How do you think social media trends can affect a special operation?
It's already done, and I mean when we had the attacks, the Taj attacks, you know how digital transmission itself became a big hindrance. So yeah, it's always going to be a huge challenge, and that's where I believe that you know, the intelligence agencies and even citizens for that matter need to play a very important role in understanding what is the difference between national security and a cheap thrill, if I may use that word. So it falls on both sides.
Does that also mean that even influencers can also sort of be used for covert operations?
They have already been used, haven't they? So I mean, in what we see in recent times, there's been something that is being investigated as we speak. So I mean, what can happen is simply something that is already getting tapped by someone. मैं और आप जो बात कर रहे हैं अभी, कोई उससे आगे की सोच रहा है, तो we'll have to respect that crisis. Yeah.
You know, some reviewers felt that ensemble members like Karan Thakur, Sami Kher and Muzamil Ibrahim were underutilized in Special Ops 2. What would you like to say about that?
Different people will feel different things. I mean, for us, the idea was not to utilize a particular character. The idea was to tell a story effectively. And an ensemble will always work this way. When you've got a long ensemble as we had in this season, that somebody will not get that kind of screen time. But that doesn't mean that the other person is underutilized. There's a definite job that character has to play in that season, and that I feel we've done justice to. Yeah.
You know, since Special Ops has often been inspired by real events, like including Parliament attack and 26/11, how do high-stake operations inspire your storytelling?
You answered it yourself. I mean, the reality of our times inspires us to take such topics. So whatever is going around, whatever is how the world is getting shaped, we root our stories in that. It can't be one specific incident or the other.
You know, it's 15 years to your film Baby. You also have written Naam Shabana and now Special Ops. What specifically draws you to the world of espionage thrillers?
It has to be when I started Baby, I can tell you from that point, because I mean, whatever reason and the pull would originate from that point of time. And that was clearly to tap into stories about these unsung heroes, जिनके बारे में कोई बात नहीं करता है, and nobody has a clue about, and they are the ones who are responsible for your safety, both internal and external.
You know, Sayyara has brought audiences back to the cinema. What would you like to say about the choices and the kind of stories that Gen Z is connecting with today?
See, this has been the age-old dilemma. Ki what do audiences like? And more often than not, the community, the filmmaking community has got it wrong, because suddenly we find ourselves as a place where, you know, at a place where we think that we have got a grip on that, and we stopped respecting them for what they want. We think that we can impose certain things on them, and that's where the balance shifts, you know. And time and again this is a cycle which sort of reinvents itself, and I strongly believe that we are at the cusp of the start of a new cycle, and hopefully filmmakers will benefit from that.
You know, you of course cast Sushant Singh Rajput as Dhoni. Beyond physical resemblance, what deeper qualities did he bring to make Dhoni portrayal authentic?
Commitment is the first thing that comes to my mind. The commitment that he showed, the hunger that he showed towards the character that he was about to play. He was at a very awkward stage in his life, because he was not doing too many films. A couple of his projects had sort of been deferred, and he was only and only available for this particular film at that point of time. So he gave it all. I mean, when it came to readings, when it came to, you know, going ahead and practicing in the nets, he gave it his all, and that's the reason why MS is what the film is.
And with that, we have come to the end of another episode of Now Showing. अचार को कहते हैं pickle और time कैसे जाता है निकल. But we'll be back next week with more reviews, recommendations, and exclusive interviews. Until then, this is me, Abhijit Bhatt, signing off. Stay filmy, stay fabulous.